Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. I'm having one of those mornings where I just cannot get out what it is I'm trying to say. So I've just been laughing at myself as I start this. So if this is your first time listening to the show, it happens once in a blue moon, but I think we all stumble out the gate some days where it's just our brain and our mouth and everything else is just not functioning at the same time together. And that is today for some reason. But I'm not going to let that stop me. No, a job has to be done, and I'm here to help. All right, so what I want to talk about today is I got into this great conversation the other day about people we surround ourselves with, and how it's amazing how much one can change the trajectory of their life and their business just by being in front of the right people, by surrounding ourselves with the right people. You've all probably heard the saying, you are the sum of the five people that you surround yourself with. It's a saying that's been going around, and it just means that, if you surround yourself with people that pull you up and rise you up, then you're going to be better. If you're around people that pull you down, then you're going to stay down. And all the motivation that you have inside is still going to be a push and pull based off of the people that you surround yourself with. And that probably makes sense. It rings true for a lot of you. You've probably noticed that, you can sometimes be on a high and you feel very kick-ass and like you're going to make crap happen. And all of a sudden you run into the wrong person or two, and all of a sudden they completely deflate you. Or the vice versa. Maybe you're feeling down and you talk to somebody that just is really uplifting and motivational and whatnot, and you feel like you can conquer the world after you get done with them. Part of what we were talking about in this conversation is how there's some folks who grow up and who aren't really around people that are very entrepreneur-like, or people that really want to say, hey, you need to go to work, you need to work hard, you need to make a good living. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, one of the things you need to know the possibilities that are out there. And there's usually somebody that you stumbled across or came across or watched, and it just got you thinking, oh my God, I could totally do this. You may not have had that person in your life until you were later, maybe in your teens or maybe even your 20s or even 30s or beyond that. A lot of times we don't know what the possibilities are until we are around people that help open our eyes to things. And one of the things that I wanted to do is for us to take a moment and to check in and ask yourself, are you surrounding yourself with people that help challenge you, that help make you better, that help take you to the next level, both in life and in business? Do they challenge your thinking? The best mentors that are out there, they challenge us, and not saying that they want to argue with us, because for some reason in the world today, we just want to argue. I'm talking about people that challenge your thinking and make you go, I never thought about that. Or people that, they might tick you off because they don't completely 100% agree with the way you're doing something, but by the time you're done with that conversation, it really has you thinking. It stays with you. It lasts. It's somebody that you can go to that is probably not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they're going to tell you what you need to hear. Those kind of people. Are you surrounding yourself with people that have the same ambitions, the same goals that you do? If you want to own the world with your business, but the business owners you tend to hang out with are perfectly okay with the status quo, then it's going to be difficult for you to grow your business and take off, because it's not so much that they're not encouraging you, that you're not going to learn anything from them because they're not doing anything different than just being status quo. You've got to find a way to get the people around you that can do that. Now, that's very difficult because sometimes you can't help who your family is. Okay. And sometimes your family is not as ambitious as you are. I know I ran into that. You know what? I'm the most ambitious person in my family, and I always had to look elsewhere for other people to show me what the possibilities were and what it is that I could do. So you've got to go out and you've got to find those people. And unfortunately, I didn't find mine till I was in my 20s, because I worked for a company with a bunch of people that were complete go-getters and what you could build and what you could do. And it just inspired me to all get out. And I was able to chase the things that I always knew deep inside. Because even when I was younger, I knew there was something more. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And the cool thing is, with today's internet and access to things, you can have virtual mentors. I remember back in the day for myself, I listened to a lot of cassette tapes and a lot of different CDs and different motivational speakers that I just loved because they inspired me and they got me going. And nowadays with YouTube and with podcasts and with all the other different, Spotify, all these different things that you can listen to people and have that motivation. You can do so much on the internet today to find people that can be your virtual mentors. So maybe you don't get to have them in your life every single day, but you can listen to them, you can watch them, and believe it or not, they will have the same effect on you. All right. Yes, you would love to be able to ask them questions, but sometimes you just got to listen to them. And maybe because you can't ask them questions, you're spending more time listening. Have you ever been in a one-on-one conversation and you're so busy trying to figure out what you want to say next that you're not really listening? Well, the one nice thing with virtual mentors is you actually have to shut up and listen because they're not going to hear your questions, and they're not going to be able to do that. Another thing you want to make sure that you're checking out is, are you around people that are negative, or are you around positive people? I have this saying, and I'm not the first to use it, but you know what? I always prepare for the worst, but I expect the best. And matter of fact, even with my clients, when they start going down negative Nelly road, I always tell them, I'm like, look, that is a possibility, but that's not where we're going to focus our attention. We're going to focus on the most positive outcome we can possibly do, because when we put our energy into the positive, we're going to win 9 times out of 10. And by the way, folks, it takes just as much energy to be positive as it does negative. So when you spend all those hours, waking moments in Negativeville, guess what? That it takes just as much time to think the most positive outcome. So yes, I want you to be a realist and go, okay, I got a plan if this happens, but how many times does the worst case ever happen? It rarely does. And if it does, you're prepared. But you know what? Most of the time, it falls somewhere in between. It may not be the most rosy thing that you thought would happen, but it's also not the most negative. It's usually somewhere in the middle. So why not focus your attention on the most positive and pull it up that way? And guess what? You'll be pleasantly surprised that going, hey, this happened last week. I was dealing with the deal and I just couldn't wait for it to be open. It had been a long 30 days of more than that, probably 45, 60 days. It just dealing with something that was very negative. And every time something negative would happen, I would just kind of try to pull it around going, okay, I've got my worst case down, but I'm putting positive energy into this. I couldn't wait. So guess what? We got down to the final few days and oh my gosh, I was living in that whole, oh my God, this thing, I just know this is going to go wrong. I don't want to have to give this news. I don't. It was all negative. And guess what? It was like a nothing burger. By the time it was all said and done, all the bad things that I kept thinking was going to happen didn't happen. When I had to deliver some bad news, they took it way better than I thought they would. And turned out that it was probably because it was the best news for them, believe it or not, on the hindsight. But at the end of the day, what's interesting is I had found myself when I was in that space around some other people that fed into that negativity. And because they fed into that negativity, I never was allowed to, I didn't have that motivation to come out of it. Whereas had I been around some people that said, hey, you know what, ignore that idiot, you know what's going to happen, this and that, I would have been like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then I would have went right to my happy place or in a more positive thing. And I'm a very positive, can-do person, but I found that because of who I was around at that moment, it allowed me to stay there longer than I wanted to. Now, my point of all of this is, when you are thinking about your business, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounded by people that help lift you up, that help challenge you, that help make you better? Are you seeking those people to be in your life? Sometimes you can find them through networking. Sometimes you can find them through virtual means, just like we've been talking about. Sometimes you can find them because you find a friend of a friend. Sometimes you have to kind of go out there, but I can tell you, if you can't find anybody, start virtually. It's a great way to do it. Matter of fact, some of you listen to this podcast because you have told me that you feel that I'm a little motivational shot for you. And, I don't think of that every single day when I go do this, but if I can be that person, oh, hell yeah, I'm all in. If you need somebody to kick you in the butt, then you come see me. I love being that person. When I do it when I'm with people live and in person, I love doing that because I do believe that sometimes we just need that person to just say, hey, yeah, you can do this. What are you talking about? So many people get so hung up on what they think they can't do. They don't realize what they can do. Are you going to become a professional basketball player tomorrow? For the majority of you, if not all of you, the answer is no way. But can you become the badass business owner who runs the best business that you run? Absolutely. You absolutely can do that, and you can make a fantastic living doing it and loving it every single day. See, we have the power to choose. We have the power to choose the attitude and how we look at things and how we go about things. So when you have those people in your life that are negative, make them as short and sweet as possible. There's people in my life that I can only do 10, 15 minutes because I can literally feel everything drain inside of me. They suck the life out of me. And they don't mean to. It's just the way they choose to live their life. But I know that when I'm around that type of energy, I have to get away from it because have you ever been like in a conversation, like you go into a conversation and you're really good, you're upbeat, and all of a sudden they start talking all their negativity and they just start pulling the life slowly out of you. Those are the conversations you need to walk away from. And let's be real. Right now, in today's world, we have a lot of that going on right now, where there's a lot of anger and a lot of negativity and a lot of people going into some dark places. And you got to get yourself away from those conversations, okay? You need to get away from those conversations and you need to get onto the positive conversations. You need to get onto, find the people that are just going out there kicking ass, taking names, whatever. All of a sudden, I can't remember the dang saying. But that's where I want you to go. I want you to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people. I know I'm rattling. I'm going to stop. I promise. I'm going to get out of here. But the main thing I wanted to do is I just wanted to make sure that you guys are surrounding yourself with people that make you better, that make you stronger, people that don't suck the life out of you, people that don't pull you down. It sounds easy to tell you to get them out of your life. And I think there are some you can let go. Okay. There are some people that you don't have to have in your life. You choose to have them in your life. But I also know there's some people that are in your orbit and it's more difficult for you to get them out of your life, but you need to limit your time with them and you need to go out and seek other folks to be able to help lift you up and make you that much better, because you guys are badasses. That's why you're here. That's the only reason I allow you to stay, is because that is who you are. And I want to make sure that you are purposely finding 3 to 5 great people, virtual or in person, that help challenge you, that make you better. I want you to go out and find another business owner in your community that has built something that you want to try to build. It doesn't have to be in the same industry. You can pick their brain and you can talk to them. I want you to find those people. Listen, you are building an amazing business. Okay. And you are becoming even more amazing as a person, as an individual at the same time. So continue to surround yourself with people that take you to the next level. All right. With that, I definitely am going to end it now because it's where you need to be. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, before you go, if you're looking to learn more about your business numbers, then check out the Know Your Business Numbers course, where we take a deeper dive into the key numbers, the calculations, the reports that will help you take your business to the next level. My mission is to help everyone love their business numbers. Yes, even including those of you that hate math. So much profit is hidden inside of your business numbers, and I want you to create some awesome profits. So check out the link in the show notes or head on over to the knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Once again, knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Come join me. Let's go ahead and work on building your profits.